Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and this one's going to be more of a breakdown for everyone who's got questions about cryptocurrency custody. As you know, the plan is for this thing to go to the moon. Then when we've got huge bags of wealth and these coins in these X tokens, the idea is then to take that crypto and allow custody of those assets to a bank in a regulated and insured environment. Now, I know that you might not necessarily be on board with giving it to a bank. You'd be more likely to give it to a PolySign or a Flare. And that's completely fine. I'm not ruling that out. All I'm doing in this video is explaining what crypto custody actually will look like and what is coming. So let's start off with what crypto custody is. And essentially, we have to talk about what it isn't, right? And I came to realize this very quickly. What it isn't is you giving your cold storage wallet to the bank or the institution or the financial service provider. What you do is you actually give your keys. And so you will actually keep your cold storage wallet with you in a safe or in your home. I would highly advise you get like a secure safe to put it in. The bank will probably offer this too. But what you do is you give them your keys. And what they do with your keys is they actually shard your keys. And that means they separate your keys, make it extra complicated. No one can actually steal any single part of it and get access to your cryptocurrency. But because they would have encrypted it by sharding it, they have the code to put it back together and then access those funds. And what's really interesting is that these financial institutions have the opportunity to do two types of custodianship. The first one is direct custodianship, and the other one is sub-custodianship. Direct custodianship is where JP Morgan, for example, actually holds all of the keys. Bear in mind, they'll be sharded. They'd hold all of the keys to access your crypto, and they would be doing the custody themselves, the institution themselves. On the other side, sub-custodianship, that is where they actually get a partner in to do the custodianship services. This is what I've been talking about recently with the likes of Barclays. Barclays don't seem to be doing the custodianship in-house because they have that partnership, or they bought a large stake in a company called Copper, and Copper do that custodianship as a service for themselves. That's their business. And so Barclays will be using Copper as a sub-custodian. The benefit of having a direct custodian is obviously that it's all done in-house at the institution that you brought your crypto to. The negative side of that is that the people working at Barclays or JP Morgan might not be as specialized as a custodianship company that is dedicated to custodianship. And then obviously the positives and negatives of sub-custodianship are basically the opposite. So you'll have to determine what you're more comfortable with at the time. What's really good is that these custodian services, I wonder how many times I'm going to say custodianship and custodian in this video. The great thing is that these custodian services, they allow for growth of the asset, and it opens up the possibility of being able to use many kinds of decentralized systems in order to generate a yield. And this is what we call that interest that we're looking for. So these custodian services go hand in hand with staking. They won't call it staking because it'd be a different thing, but we do have this way to integrate into DeFi protocols if we should want that. And so that will be an option. And what I found really, really interesting is that they will be offering custodianship of cold wallets, that's your ledger, link in the bio if you want one, hot wallets and warm wallets. They will be able to, because it's just public keys and private keys, right? They would just be able to shard any private key and have custody of that crypto. So it doesn't matter which wallet you're holding it in, they can have custody of it. Now, of course, I'm not saying that cold storage isn't important. It absolutely is. For right now, having custody yourself of your keys and of your crypto is significantly better position to be in than having those keys stored at an exchange or on a hot or a warm wallet. But when the time comes, it is possible to be giving custodianship to entities via any wallet on the blockchain. What's really interesting to note is that if you've given your crypto or your keys to be in the custody of a insured and regulated entity, you never actually have to now remember the password. What they can do on their side is decode their encoding with the sharding of the private keys and give you access, and all you have to do is verify your identity. You never actually have to remember a password again. I thought that was a really cool byproduct there. So there will only be 3 types of entities that will actually be able to take custody of your crypto. The first one is an exchange. So exchanges will be offering custody of crypto. I haven't researched this, but I already know that Coinbase will be offering something like this. In fact, they probably already do, to be honest. The next entity will be financial institutions. These are the large bank entities that run the world, basically. Those are Santander, Barclays, JP Morgan, BlackRock, all of these financial entities. So I've been doing a lot of research about who's actually going to be offering crypto custody in the future. And honestly, I was searching the top 50 banks in the world, and they basically all have already pre-agreed, pre-settled, pre-partnered with either sub-custodianship companies or they're doing custody themselves. Like, it's all out there. I was going to make a video about that, talking about all the ones I found, but there were too many, dating as far back as 2018 when some of these banks were actually ready to go with custodianship. Isn't that incredible? And I may very well make a video about this, but I did find on the internet a company that already offers crypto custody, and the required amount of dollar value that you need to actually become an investor to be able to offer your crypto in the custody of that company. And I'll leave the screenshot on the screen here, but it was $10 million required. And that is the entry level amount of your portfolio in order to be able to actually give your crypto to be in the custody of a financial institution. That number felt quite high, but if that number is going to be standard across the board, it does tend to allow us to be able to make guesstimations based on guesstimations of price for XRP, how many XRP tokens you actually need to hold to be able to reach that level. If that does turn out to be the case, where you need $10 million worth in portfolio just to be able to give custody somewhere, that would actually be a shame. I tend to think that might be lowered simply because we are holding the valuable asset, and there'll be many people in this community that have small bags of XRP that might not reach that $10 million portfolio value level, but would still offer something valuable to those institutions because, like I said, we hold the valuable asset. And so I really hope that that $10,000 limit is in fact not the case. I hope it's maybe more around 1 million, maybe 5 million. That will catch a lot more people. And that's really the only indication I've had so far of limits to the downside when we're looking at custodianship. Anyway, all very interesting stuff. Lots of research to be done, more learning to be done about this as well. I really want to start getting into my wealth management side of things, and I really want to dive more into Flare and Polysign and the offerings that they offer. And a big announcement, which if you weren't here before the premiere and didn't see the announcement earlier, I have a Discord now, and I always had a Discord, but it was always for the paid members of YouTube. And while those paid channels and roles still apply to YouTube members on Discord, I have now created the first free channel for the community to join. The link is in the description. If you are a YouTube member and you haven't been on the Discord for a while, everything's changed. Your roles have all been taken away. You won't be able to see anything. You'll have to verify and connect your YouTube account to Discord. All of the instructions are over there, so don't worry about that. And you'll get access to all of the places you're supposed to have access to. I'm actually gonna limit the amount of people that are able to join from the public, so make sure you're one of the first to do that before I close it off. It will reopen at some point in the future, but just letting you know. If you're a long-time watcher of this channel, or you're new and you haven't subscribed yet and the algorithm's just giving you my videos, please consider subscribing, clicking like on the video, and sharing these videos with anyone who's a little bit lost in the crypto space. Remember to get your cold storage wallet. I have a link to the one I use in the description, and also all of the places that I use to buy my XRP. BitGet has 0 trading fees, and you can remove immediately from the platform into cold storage. MEXC is the exact same thing, and Uphold is really good if you use a card and not your bank account. Check out all those places to buy. All of my trusted locations to find me online are in the description. You would never be scammed by those scammers impersonating me if you follow me on every single platform. These are the only links that you follow me on. If any other account tries to follow you or message you, it's clearly not me. So protect yourself by following on all of those channels below. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.